Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I am Mr Kaine, born in the Bond district. The chiefdom is Kwame by Cream Chiefdom. 20th December 1947. I attended the UBC school at Tupine from 1953 to 1960. From there, my uncle took me to Kenema. There I continued my primary school from standard 2 to standard 6. Then I sat to my selective entrance. I was successful in getting a second choice at Jimmy Bagbo in the Bo district. I went there just for 2 years. When I went to my father for school fees, he said, I'm unable. I want you to stay with me and do business. That was what my father told me. I said, I'm too young to do business right now. I want to further my education. So he agreed with me. He called his in-law, that is my uncle, the brother of my mother. He took me to Kenema. That was in 1961. I went back to Kenema and continued. There was an agricultural institute. I sat to the exam. I was successful. We were there for 2 years, where I attained a certificate of achievement. But due to my output, the mission took me, employed me. I was about to return to my home. I went to the principal. I said, I want to go home. He said, no, wait for me. I was in Kenema now, staying with my relatives at number 1 Masakwe Street. There I was. I left the address all with the principal. Said, I want to send you somewhere. Surprisingly, around this time, within 5 and 6, he went to my house. Said, I want to send you to Batkanu tomorrow. I would like you to go and sleep in the campus. Then from there they take you to Batkanu. I never knew. He just told me that I'm going to send you for just a few days and come. I said, okay. I went there. You know, these people, these black Americans, they drink a lot. I met them, they were on a party. I took the letter and handed over to the principal, because they call it chief of party. When he read, he said, oh, chief, that is the permanent chief. He said, they have brought this man to teach your children. The man went, that was PC Bayange Batongo. He embraced me. He hugged me. We sat down for some time, and I went back to the quarter they gave me. I was there for some time. Due to my output, just within 3 months, I was selected to go to America. So they have a mission there. Hampton Institute, Hampton, Virginia. There they came. Everything went on. There was a very big misfortune. God was not right. they told us that since, because of this upheaval, that was the time of ACRM took over, Anti-Corruption Revolutionary Movement. They took over the government, and I didn't go. Then we were there in Batkano for some time. The man who was an agricultural officer, behold, he was studying me, the way I teach, the way I was dealing with the students. He called me at one time, say, I want you to go and help me there. Say, I'm going home, but the people that are there, the people they are coming, they are white colors, they like these vegetables. I want you to go and join me. I said, okay. So for some time, he went. I've even forgotten. After a year, he wrote a letter. Say, I want you to come. The time has come now. I'm now at home. Come and help me. At one time, I went to pay him a visit. There I stayed. I made my application. I got the appointment. During that time, I was staying with my friend, who was my former student at Batkano. This man, his name is Abdul Mansare. Abdul Mansare. He was my friend. So in the morning, he told me, say, I want you to join me to go and pray at the St. Ahmadiyyya Mosque there, at the entrance of the gate. There was a mosque, research gate. We went there. We prayed. The next morning, he said, let's go to the Central Mosque. We went there, we prayed. I didn't see any difference. The third morning, he said, well, today you are going to pray with me in my own mosque. That was Ahmadiyya. We went there, we prayed, we sat down. During that time, Mufti Mubashe was the missionary in charge of that place. After prayers, he took the Quran, started reciting. He recited in Arabic, then he read it in English. I don't understand Arabic, but I understand English. When he did this, after the prayer, I told Abdul, I said, Mr. Mansare, now I've got my own mosque. Ahmadiyya, here I'm going to pray now. He said, why? I said, all along I've been praying. I don't understand what the Quran says. Now this movie, he reads in Arabic and then translate in English. And I understand English. I said, here I'm going to stay. After that, Mufti Kaine asked me whether I have signed a bayat. I said, no. Yes, after and almost about 4 months. Because the day I declared that I'm going to start praying here, it's about 2 months I signed the bayat with my wife. He said, how much will you give for the sake of God? I said, well, I don't have enough money. During that time, they used to pay me 14 leon 75 cents. So I started with 1 leon. Go on. I came to 2 leon. From 2 leon, I went to 4 leon. 5 leon. That was my limit. I had to pay the contribution. Then, in the evening, Mr. Kogyur Mahmood, he used to study the children and some elders. I joined them. After that, I started learning this Arabic, Alif Lam Mim. From there, we were having a movie there with movie Ahmadiyyyya Khan. He was having one book, what they called it, Teach Yourself Arabic. So he gave me that book for 2 months because he was about to go. I mean, he was about to go now. I never knew he was to go. So he gave me this book. I was dealing with it. Then he told me that I will take that book back because it is not mine. It's a library book. I gave him. They started bringing this Yasana Quran. By then, Mr. Ellen Bangura was the president of the Jamaat. He too took it. So they gave us. We were studying. I studied for some time and I left. But every morning when I used to go to Mr. Ellen Bangura, I will meet him reading, reciting. I said, okay, with this now, I'm going to take my book back. I started studying small. Now, through Ahmadiyya, Alhamdulillah, I'm able to pray by myself, to nafla by myself, to read by myself. I said, Alhamdulillah for that. The favors which God was giving me, I got 5 children there. With the grace of God, I attained to a board member through Mr. M.A. Tahir, Mubarak Tahir. He appointed me as a board member in the school. I was there for some time. Then, later on, they appointed me as the assistant president, vice president to Mr. Ellen Bangura. I was there for complete 2 years. Well, I was working with him now when the coming of Khalifa came. I stayed there for complete 2 years as a vice president. Then they gave me the presidentship. With the presidentship now, as a president of the Jamaat Rokupr, I just attended about 2 months. Then the war came. Then I handed over to Dr. Black. Then I moved from there. I took refuge to this village, Katikwala. I was there for some time. Then they transferred me to Longi here under research.
Which year now?
That was in 1999. Mm-hmm. Yes, I was there for I brought all my family there. They were there for complete 3 years. I was here in Longi. So I was working under them until 2004. So research. They stopped me. When I was in Rokupr, the visit of Hazur came. He visited Sierra Leone. During that time, when he came, Mobase was still that time he was the Amir now here. We came to Freetown. We went to the meeting, and now Mr. Kamara was the BBC reporter. He asked the Khalifa, say, would you like to visit Rokupr because of the road? It's very bad and there's no chance. The Khalifa told him, I repeat, and I quote, if it costs me to crawl on the ground to reach Rokupr, I will reach there. The next day, Mr. Bangura and I went back. We didn't wait again. The meeting of the one in Freetown. We came back to Rokupr, start preparing. And that visit was very successful. I was having a bike. I was to go to the junction to direct the Khalifa to come to Rokupr. On my way going, I didn't reach the junction again. I met them coming, and I stopped them. After stopping them, I went to the window where the Khalifa is. I said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. He said, wa alaikum salam. He said, are you the one coming to receive us? I said, yes. Then he opened the window and shook hand with me. He shook hand with me. The happiness I got, I have never got that happiness with any other person yet when we shake hand. Up to date. Because the smoothness of that man's hand, mine was, I felt very rough because I used to take whole cutlass to brush. Just as a rubber. And he squeezed my hand for some time. Then I went back. I took the bike. I went to Rokupr. They went with me. From there, I rode the bike. I was with them. On to the hospital. But there they told me that they have to go there first. When he came down, he urged with one Lebanese man. Then with all the other members. And he went in. And they told us, everybody should go to the clubhouse. There we went. When the Khalifa came, he went to to the clubhouse. He opened the meeting with Fatiha. Then he asked the whole congregation, is there any question? Then one man, he asked the Khalifa, say, what do you mean by Katamau-Nabiwin? It was wonderful. Khalifa was on that subject for complete 1 hour. Even he didn't finish. The time has come to go to the mosque. Then Dr. Mode, we were having a very serious conversation. He said, this man is a philosopher. Dr. Mode, who was the former agricultural minister, then he was the director there. He said, this man is a philosopher. I heard that language from him. Because that one subject, that man didn't finish at all. Step by step, step by step, step by step. Then we went to the mosque. There we sat down. for some time, because from the clubhouse he went back to the hospital. From there he went to the mosque. There we are waiting for him now. There was no place to sit down again. The place is filled with people. But he didn't make any preaching again. He just say, they just call Hazan, and we pray. And Mr. Khalil Kamara was the BBC journalist. He was with him there still. So we went back after prayers. We joined the prayers, both Zuhr and Asr. He went back to the hospital. There he got the lunch and then went back to Freetown. They made a scheme to send children for this Jamia. The movie asked me whether I'm going to give one of my sons. I said yes. I said Muhammad Salam is going to be my son to be the movie in time to come. So I gave him, they went. They started attending. But due to circumstances, I think according to the Amir, K.M. Wasil, that he has got a message from the headquarters that Jamia in Bo should be closed. And all those that have interest they will send them to Ghana. I still gave my son. He went, they undertook everything. Up to this, he has his passport. Later on, the going didn't write because they are already late for 3 months, according to the answer of the Amir. So the Khalifa said the time is late for them to go now. But anybody who wants his child to continue his education, the mission will be responsible for that. Then I went. We came back with my son with the application to the principal, Mr. Bayo. So Mr. Bayo took him, admitted him. There he was. Now, after that, I took my son to the school. So during this time, this boy was suffering from appendix. I never knew. He was staying with his sister. So at one time, they went to the hospital. So the doctor told him that this boy is suffering from appendix. And this appendix is completely ripe. It is time to operate. Otherwise, you will lose him. Then the lady went to me in Rokupr and explained this matter. The following day, we came. We slept. Because if you come from Rokupr onto Freetown, it's a long journey. The roads. We slept. In the morning, we went to the hospital. And he asked me whether this is your son. I said, it's my son, sir. But the boy, he was attending the Ahmadiyya secondary school. They were preparing for GCE. Then he said this boy should go under operation. He's suffering from appendix, and the appendix is ready for operation. If you don't allow to let him go under operation, you will lose him. I said, well, now, doctor, I don't have money. And this boy, just 5 days to examination, GCE. Well, how will I do? And I don't have the money. Then he looked into the drawer, gave me 2 tablets. So when he feels the pain, let him take the tablet. But he should undergo operation. He told me this twice. He should go under operation. He should go operation. Otherwise, you will lose him. This is what he told me. I said, okay. During that time, I want to go back. I gave him folio. I went back to Rokupr. I told my wife, I said, I'm just from Freetown. My son is suffering from appendix. And doctor told me that if at all he doesn't go under operation, we will lose him. But we don't have money. I want to pray for him. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.